So from 2008 to 2012, GE spent $12.2 billion to redeem 583 million shares at an average price of $21. The buybacks accelerated from 2013 to 2015 when it paid $15.6 billion for 616 million shares, or $25.32 per share, and took another jump in 2016 through 2017 when it paid more than $29.76 per share for on average for the biggest chunk yet, 874 million shares. All told, over the decade, ended at the close of 2017, GE spent $53.9 billion to repurchase 2.07 billion shares at an average price of $26. At today's $8.38, GE could buy the same number of shares for less than a third of the amount, or $17.4 billion.
Right, this is pure looting by the executives. So the executives essentially award themselves stock options to buy stock, let's say to buy stock at $5. And they award those options, and essentially they're printing shares in General Electric. And they would be included in their fully diluted results, but nevertheless, they give themselves the option to buy the stock for $5 a share, and the cost of that option to the executive might be 2 cents. Then they borrow money from this incredibly ludicrous bond market that Paul Krugman thinks is not a problem, and they buy back billions of their own stock. And therefore, the earnings that they're making, they are not making any more earnings, but the earnings that they do make are spread over fewer shares that are now publicly traded. So it looks like earnings are going up. So therefore, the stock goes up. Stock goes up because earnings look like they're going up, even though if you adjust for the dilution in the share number, they are falling, flat or going down. So then the executive, they paid 2 cents for the option to buy stock at $5. Now the stock's at $20 bucks. So now they exercise their 2 cent option and they buy their stock at $5 and they immediately sell it for $20. Now they manufactured for 2 cents, they made $15. That's what an executive stock option, that's how it works. They've done that to the tune of billions and billions. Jack Welch, who was a former CEO going back a ways with his 6 Sigma Phi, whatever his crazy fakakta business methodology was, is looting. The company is an asset stripper. It's basically a private equity firm disguised as a Fortune 500 company. They have looted the company. They've looted the pension account. The executives have run out of town. Before WeWork, there was General Electric. Before the crook who runs WeWork, there was Jack Welch. And, they've set the standard. They've raised the bar, for General Electric. One of the primary industrial corporations of America has the moral veracity of Bernie Madoff, squared.
Well, I believe there used to be a saying called "As GE goes, so goes America."
Close. General Motors.
But General Motors also went financialized.
Right.
They hollowed out the company. They extracted all the wealth. They extracted the pension funds. They exported jobs to outsource jobs around the rest of the world, anywhere but here. They cashed in on stock options the same way. So every single company, all those great companies that we used to have for 150 years, those are all gone. Those are all going. GE's going the way of Deutsche Bank. In terms of how much they actually wasted, they just threw. Here's them throwing money the whole way down. Stock buybacks. Every time they went into stock buybacks, the stock market loved them for it, and the prices did go up, but it didn't stop the bleed, because if at the end of the day they're not innovating and they're not creating wealth in this country, then at the end of the day it's going to collapse, right? In fact, they wasted a staggering $36.5 billion overpaying for its overpriced stock. That amount, what investigative accountant Albert Meyer calls, quote, destruction of capital, is equivalent to half of GE's current market cap of $71 billion. To make matters worse, repurchasing 2.07 billion shares has lowered the share count by 1.9 billion, or 8% less than that over the decade. The reason? GE made large options grants to its top managers over those years that eventually vested, requiring the company to issue new shares that diluted its stock.
Right, as I just described.
Yeah.
It's a scam. And it used to be illegal.
Yes.
It wasn't legal to buy back your own stock for obvious reasons. It invites fraud. It's a fraudulent accounting fraud. It's obvious accounting fraud,
yeah.
control fraud, obvious. But I think it was under the Reagan-Thatcher era of deregulation. That's one of the rules that was deregulated, and now it's come back to haunt the markets because instead of putting money to work in productive capacity or innovation, General Electric used to invent stuff. They used to have these great factories. They used to do things instead of just becoming basically asset strippers. And I think they owned Kidder Peabody for a while, a financial brokerage firm. They toyed with that, and just went down the path of chicanery, and now it's going bust, and it should go bust, and all these companies should go bust. And Paul Krugman at the New York Times is saying, let's keep interest rates cheap. Debt doesn't make any difference. Let's bankrupt every single pension fund in America, according to Paul Krugman, because then all of these people on the streets looking for that's going to somehow boost the economy. Remember, this is the guy who encouraged extraterrestrials to invade planet Earth to boost the economy. This is the guy who said that the fax machine, that the internet wouldn't be any more of an effect on the economy than the fax machine.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. Now, guys, I received a lot of emails asking me exactly to explain the stock market. Don't forget I did the video, Merica is an illusion, because that's exactly what it is. Now, going over the actual stock market, you just saw the Matt Kaiser report going over the actual stock market. Now, the fact is that stocks are owned by 84% of 84% of stock markets owned by the top 10%. So that means that all stocks are manipulated. Now, when they started the buybacks again during the Reagan era, Reagan had nothing to do with it, of course, but he was a puppet. Just like Trump is the puppet right now, Obama was the puppet. The stocks, when they bought these stocks back, they buy them with options. So when you see the stock market crash, they're making money off of it. And that's why I tell you, don't let the narrative scare you. As you can see, the virus stocks that had anything to do with the virus, they went through the roof. So I just want to make sure you understand that the Dow is only 30 stocks. Those stocks are overpriced. You don't want them anyway. They're going 19 times earnings. They're in the illusion. That came from the Fed buying the stocks. That's where it came from. The Federal Reserve, you can look at the S&P, along with the repo market, the Federal Reserve was buying stocks. Don't get caught up in that. It's always places to get yourself in to make money. And like I stated, you'll never find the perfect bottom when it comes to cryptos. The fact is that Bitcoin is going to have big swings, but there are plenty of alts. You're looking for alts. You're looking to make the most money possible. Bitcoin is to hold and wait. The other altcoins, you want to find the cheapest one, so therefore you can buy in. And I went over the BitMEX and CME. Today is the last day, and then, like always, a few days, the crypto market is going to go up. It only because BitMEX and CME was dumping. That's the reason why you had the dump in the actual crypto market. But I just want to make sure we're understanding that we want to buy the narrative. Whatever the media is trying to sell, you want to do your research and buy the narrative. We all know cryptos are manipulated. Bitcoin goes up, all the cryptos go up. Bitcoin goes down, all the cryptos go down. So we know that, but our job is to do research, find those cryptos that we know that, okay, I bought the dip. Now I'm just going to wait for it to go back up so I can make money. That's what we're here to do. Of course, you want to hold certain coins, but like I stated, you traders, you want to buy at the bottom. Like I say, you're not going to find the perfect bottom, but buy at the low. And then when it rises, then you fill your bag some more. That's how you fill your bag without going into your own pocket and buying and holding. If you keep buying and holding, you're going to lose. So I just wanted to make sure I went over that because I received a lot of emails about it, asking me to explain the stock market and the cryptos. Guys, it's all manipulated. It's all owned. It's all owned by a group of hands. You will never beat the Fed. Remember I told you, the Fed is the house. You will never beat them unless you work for them. And majority of times, none of you work for them. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. It's all manipulated. So whatever the narrative the media is trying to sell you, do your research and then you invest. The reason why I did this channel is so therefore I can educate the masses, because this is the time where you actually want to sit down with your family and let them know, yes, they are going to bring the stock market down. We are going to move over the blockchain. So the fact is that you want to make sure that they're educated. This is not the time to play around at this moment. We only have a few months. The only reason why they're keeping it up right now is because of this is election year. If it wasn't election year, we would have went back down to 16K. I'm talking about for the Dow. All these stocks are being pumped. All the cryptos, when you go back to 2017, they had no utility. And they went through the roof, guys. Remember that. They had no utility. Bitcoin still doesn't have any utility. It's all speculation. The Fed was pumping it. So therefore, it could get your eyes on it. But the fact is, your job is to make money. Trading is where you make money. You keep holding, you're going to lose. And what I mean by that, yes, the cryptos are going to go up, but you would have made a whole lot more money by trading and keep filling your bags. Trading, fill your bags. Trading, fill your bags. Same thing with the stock market. Apple, Microsoft, they do buybacks. What do you think is going to happen to that stock eventually? It's going to go down just like GE, what Matt Kaiser explained. I'm telling you, all these, they're buying it because when you do buybacks, you control both sides. You control the narrative. You control both sides. So you're making money when it goes up and you're making money when it goes down. But guys, that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the book Cryptoteacher on Amazon. Also go to btcteacher.com. Also to get the book. Also learn about the economy. I have the links. Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance for your stock, for your cryptos. Robinhood for your stocks. Don't forget the chip stocks. Right now, of course, they're selling the narrative for the virus stocks, even though they went up a lot. But some of them are still available where you can make money off of. And don't forget about Cobalt. They need that for your electric batteries. And y'all have a wonderful day.